You will notice I have thread A right there in my hand. That is my tension thread, and I have thread B going up through the palon. So when you're starting to do this technique, make sure that your needle isn't coming directly next to the bead. The size 4mm rondelles require a little bit more space, so keep that in mind. Now, when we do this, you can add however many beads you want, whatever you're comfortable with. I don't even count them, to be quite honest. I just add what I feel like is comfortable. Now that I have my beads ready to go, let's put them around our beadwork, making sure that we are not covering our smaller beads. When you place your needle down to hold the beads down, make sure you're giving it a little bit of space so each tack down has room to perfectly fit. Now I will continue holding my tension thread to keep the beads in place and just kind of lining them up nicely. I will take my thread B and go up through in between the smaller bead and the big rondelle bead. And we are going to be doing this for in between every single bead. Now the trick here is to angle your needle. As you can see, my needle is angled quite a bit, and the reason for this is we don't want to accidentally cut our thread when we are cutting the palon around our beadwork. So this is like the biggest tip that I can give you for this video, is to make sure you angle your needle. As you can see here, I cut really close to my beadwork and none of the thread is cut whatsoever. That's because it angled so much that it doesn't make me worry about it. So again, angle your needle, and we will go all the way around and tack through every single bead. So just like you're doing your regular beadwork, we will lift our thread up out of the palon to add more of our beads here. This is basically doing a larger version of your regular stitch work when you're tacking down your beads. It's just with bigger beads. Okay, so I'm getting to the last one and I noticed that I need to add an extra bead, so don't be afraid to pull that thread back up and add your last bead on there. It might be a little challenging because I did already add my thread into the very first bead that I tacked down, but if you gently work at it, you can get that back out. So I just needed to add one more bead to make it fit perfectly around the beadwork. And like I mentioned, you can put your needle through the very first bead that you first tack down and pull your thread through. That way it stays nice and secure, and then you can continue tacking down between every single bead to finish off this look. Now that we are done here, this is how it will look. Completely tacked down, super cute, super pretty. And you know, because we're extra, we're gonna go one step further and add some gold beads in between our bigger glass rondelle beads. So now with this technique, you only need one thread, but I'm going to keep the other thread on hand just in case I might need to use it if I run out of the first thread. So to start, we will go in between the big beads and the small gold beads, and we will pick up 5 beads. Now, the count is important when you're doing this step because you want it to perfectly fit over the bead itself. So sometimes if you add not enough beads, it will look spacey, but if you add too much, it will start bulging. And again, with this technique, you will want to angle your needle inward. This is super important because, like I said before, if you don't angle it and you're cutting your palon around your beadwork, there's a chance you might cut your thread. And I've seen people comment about they've done that quite a bit. So always angle your needle. Now that we got the first one in, we will go and do it around our entire beadwork piece. And another tip that I want to share with you really quick is when you are tacking these down, where you are putting your needle does matter because you don't want your little gold beads to kind of look wonky in or further out. So always try to just follow where the prior gold tack down was. Kind of use that as your visual on where you'll tack your next gold down, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, I'm so sorry, but I'm trying here. Okay, I'm trying. So you can see here where the gold beads are landing on the palin, they all kind of look equal. The spacing on them are all kind of equal, so I noticed that one didn't look as nice, so I'm going to retack it so it kind of matches the other ones. Don't mind me, I need a little bit more gold beads because I was running low. Now, I chose to use gold and white, but there's so many different rondelles in our pack that we got this month. So I would even use like the red and pink beads that came in the box this month or the red glass rondelles. It really is your choice. I just really liked how the white with the pink cabs from our box this month looks. So this is kind of what I went with because you know me and gold. Okay, so I am about to finish my last little gold tack down. I love how this looks. It's one of my favorite styles to create. I hope you guys give this a go and create something cool, maybe even explore something a little bit more, do something else with it. But this is how it looks. This is the end of our video. Let me know your thoughts. If you end up trying this, post it in our group. I would love to see everybody's cool patterns and whatnot. So, yeah.